we're hearing from our man Brian Windhorst that the Portland Trailblazers, for what feels like the second or third time, are attempting to fix the situation, allegedly. So the exact quote goes like this: the Blazers are attempting to resolve the Damian Lillard situation in Portland before training camp starts, per Brian Windhorst. And what does that mean? Either that he stays or that they are trying to trade him before the start of training camp. That I don't know. And I think it's dumb if they try to keep him to stay. Because at this point, if you're trying to keep him to stay, I feel like it's more counterintuitive than it is intuitive, because you're just trying to keep someone who doesn't want to be there. And what do they say? If you love somebody, let them go. Okay? But I don't know. It's a weird one. It's a situation that obviously we don't know. Like Dame says, in an ideal world, he would stay and finish his career in Portland. But this isn't that ideal world. And I want to hear your opinions with how this offseason has played out. It just feels like we're just prisoners of the moment until Damian Lillard does finally get traded, or they finally do decide to trade him, because this has been drawn out for way too long, in my opinion, and it could have been something that didn't have to just be dragged out this long. So I'd like to hear your opinions on what do you guys expect with this whole situation to go about with Damian Lillard. Will we see the multi-team trade that everyone's been talking about? Will it be Miami? Will it be Chicago? Will it be Toronto? We're hearing all this information. I do believe that, similar to Donovan Mitchell, which we saw him get traded right before the start of training camp, I expect the same thing to happen with Damian Lillard, that they just trade him immediately near the start. And for me, it makes the most sense. But obviously, all that is bound to change, because the NBA is a place that is an ever-changing beast that we never know, like the whole story. And I don't know. I definitely think that this is something I'm trying to continue to improve, trying to see if we can get any more information. But you don't really know how to look into it, because everyone's basically perceiving the information a lot differently than others. So it does kind of just make this all seem like it's very convoluted. We don't know what's really going to happen. I personally think, similar to Donovan Mitchell, they're just going to trade him right before the start of training camp. And I do believe it'll be Miami at this point. Maybe it's the Raptors or the Bulls or the dark horse team, but Zach LaVine, nobody wants him. He's got less trade value than Bradley Beal. And supposedly the Raptors don't want to include Scotty Barnes, and that's kind of like holding up the trade for Toronto. Toronto, supposedly, they're not willing to give up Scotty Barnes, and that's what the Blazers want. So I don't expect him to go to Toronto.